What's up, everybody? It's me again. Um, Gonna do another reading today. Hope everybody's doing good. I don't know about y'all, but here it's like 100 degrees. It's not, does not feel too good. If you see water dripping, that's from my hair. Um, yeah, man, it's hot, and it's always important to remember. Sometimes, like I especially heard that there was a solar flare the other day as well, and that can also sometimes drain you. And, it's all part of the process. It's not anything to be worried about, but definitely want to always stay hydrated. Want to make sure you get your rest. Make sure you take care of yourself. Don't push yourself to do more than you have to do. Um, that's why I'm on here so late today, because it took me a while to get going this morning. So, anyway, let's get into this reading. Um, Oh, I did want to say thank you to everybody that gave me feedback on my video yesterday. I do appreciate it. Why my hair is dripping like that? I do appreciate it. All of your positivity is greatly appreciated, and I look forward to continuing to connect with you guys. Okay, so to cut down on some of the dead air that I had yesterday, I went ahead and pulled cards right before I started the video. So today I'm using this deck. It's called Native Spirit Oracle cards by Denise Lynn. It's really, really beautiful. It's a really, really beautiful deck. So shout out to her. So the first card that I pulled is called Sweat Lodge. Like I said, these are very beautiful cards. So the feeling that I got from this card is, for those of you who are not familiar, a sweat lodge is basically kind of like a makeshift tent. And then the purpose of the sweat lodge is to basically fill it with smoke so that it's really hot and you can sweat out toxins, and you can kind of like, sometimes when you push your body, it takes your mind to a different place. Um, so the purpose of a sweat lodge is to really kind of like go inside yourself internally and do like soul searching, get answers to questions that you have, get kind of like emotional blocks removed. Like I've heard of sweat lodges being used to treat addictions and things like that. But it's really just like a spiritual experience, right? So what I'm getting from this card is that um, if you are having a challenging time right now, I feel like right now, just everything that's going on, um, the world is kind of in a sweat lodge, and you're being asked to sit still right now, and kind of remove all of the outside distractions so that you can, get back to yourself, so that you can rediscover yourself, really get clear about who it is you want to be, what it is you want to do, what's really important to you. Um, and to also like get answers to questions, because when I started doing this work, oh my gosh, back in like 2012, a lot of people, I noticed that a lot of people were just like miserable, like, and kind of became content in their misery. Like it just is what it is, and it's never going to get better. It's just something I got to deal with. And like, it just wears so much on your soul. Like, you ever met somebody who was like, yo, who pooped in your cereal? Like, why are you mad all the time? Like, why are you so grumpy? So that was really what started my journey also, like to really kind of figure out, because I know like the typical path of, what you're supposed to do, it did not make me happy at all. So I had to kind of rediscover what does make me happy and what I did want out of life, right? So I feel like that's what this card is saying. use this time as an opportunity to do all of those things I just mentioned. And don't see it as like, don't see the heat as a burden. Don't feel the heat as oppressive. It really is a purging and a cleansing of yourself. That's all I got for that one. So the next card that I pulled, it's called Gathering Your Tribe. Very beautiful. So what I get from this card is having a support system is very, 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 very important. And I know, like, I feel like it gets downplayed a lot because there are so many people in the world who are not genuine and who don't have your best interests at heart, and so much so that you might feel like it doesn't exist, or that nobody's perfect, and so you shouldn't expect people to never do things to hurt you or harm you, or to just have that negative energy around you. However, that's not true. And the further we get into this new paradigm on Earth, the more that's not going to be true. Like, the more energy there is going to be in the universe, and especially on this planet, that it's all about love and positivity. Like, and that's it. Like, that's it. I mean, life is pretty simple when you get down to it. So it's important to have that support system where you do feel safe, where you are feeling supported, where you experience that unconditional love. And granted, sometimes it may be you may get that support from your dog, and that would be the only person. Sometimes you may get that support from your spirit guides and your ancestors and your guardians. Like, it's not, there may be points in your life where there might not be a physical person that gives you this support, but that doesn't mean that you don't have it, if that makes sense. So when you do make these connections and you do find these people, or you find this energy, make sure that you nurture it and that you foster it and that you really build on that relationship, because it's going to be vital to your happiness and to just your experiences in the world. Like, when you look at the world from a perspective of love, everything looks different. So I personally went through this also. My circle has fluctuated multiple times throughout my life at this point, and it's all part of the journey. Like, it's not wrong, it's not bad. It's just everybody's on their path, and sometimes your paths aren't um parallel with someone else's, and sometimes they go apart and then they come back together. Like, it really, I guess that's a part of the journey. Like, you just never know what is in store for you, or what kind of connection you're going to have with somebody. Or like, sometimes even there are people that you meet for an hour. Like, if you take public transportation, there might be somebody you sit next to and you have one of the best conversations you've had in a long time. And then, it doesn't mean you're supposed to like be their best friend or hang out with them, for the rest of your life. That might have just been something you needed to hear at that moment in time. So just always, pay attention to those connections, and just nurture those connections, because they're very important. So the last card I pulled is called Eagle Medicine, right? And the eagle is actually one of my personal totem animals. I really love eagles. I actually watch this this webcam that they have. I think it's in like West Virginia, and it's just like a webcam that watches the eagle's nest. And like every year they have babies, and You watch the babies grow, and you watch them hatch, and you watch them fledge from the nest, and it's pretty cool. And I actually found it while we were in quarantine, so it's like one of the um, I guess highlights of my day, like not being able to get outside like I normally would and things like that. Like this is back in March 2020. Um, but anyway, it was really cool. So I really do love eagles. And so the eagle medicine, let me show it to you again. The eagle medicine card is see how the eagle is high. Not only is it high in the sky, but it's high in altitude as well. Like it's way up in the mountains. And eagles have really good eyesight, and they have like a really cool perspective from where they fly. So eagle medicine is encouraging you to in, embody the characteristics of the eagle. You know, sometimes you need to change your vantage point to see things from a different perspective so that you are able to figure things out that you otherwise couldn't, or surpass obstacles that you otherwise did not see a solution for. Um, Eagles are very powerful. Eagles are very wise. Um, but they're also very like chill. Like one of the surprising things that I saw in the webcam was like an eagle is like huge, right? Like it's a really big bird, and the claws on the eagle are huge and really sharp, right? And the beak on the eagle is really sharp. But then you have these little eaglets, and first of all, when they sit on the nest, I'm like, how do they do that without cracking the egg? Because it's a really big bird, right? And then when they feed the birds, they're they're so gentle with how they like place the food into the bird's mouth, not to cut it or not to hurt it in any way. They make sure the eagles don't walk towards the edge of the nest and fall off, because I did see one baby that happened to on the webcam. Um, so I kind of see eagles as like this wise kind of elder. And if any of you, I hope all of you have experienced your grandparents. I know some of them may have passed before you were born, but that grandparent energy is kind of like invaluable in that they always tend to have a perspective that kind of makes everything clear. And so I kind of feel like that's what the eagle is. So when I pulled this card, to me that was a sign to share that message with you to change your perspective, and also heard like to be objective, to step back and not involve yourself personally in everything. And what I mean by that is you want to be an observer. You don't want to be reactionary, if that's a word. You don't want to react to everything. You don't want to get emotional. You want to live life and go through life as an observer. So things happen. You don't necessarily see it as good. You don't necessarily see it as bad. It just is, you know. Um, and like, we are humans. We are meant to feel. I don't want to, confuse you with that message, but it just, it makes things that happen in life, it gives you that different vantage point that I mentioned before. So if you can take a step back from a situation and just look at it objectively and look at it from an observer standpoint, like remove yourself from the situation and then take an objective look at it, you might find that it makes a lot more sense when you do that. Because emotions tend to, it can at times make you irrational, and make you react in ways that you normally wouldn't, and make you take offense to things and make you be defensive. Um, so just remember to always, like, if you feel like things get overwhelming and you just feel like you're being swallowed by a very challenging situation, just always remember to take a step back and just really kind of look at it objectively. So I hope that was very helpful for you guys. I know that was a lot quicker than the one yesterday, but I still think there were very important messages. So I look forward to speaking with you guys again. I'll be back on tomorrow. I can't say when because I actually have to go in the office. Um, so just stay tuned. Check out my story. That's usually when I put the countdown in. I know I did it a little bit early today. I said 4:30. Um, but you'll see a countdown that'll let you know like when I'm about to jump on, maybe like 2 hours before. Um, but yeah, I hope this is helpful. Always DM me. Let me know if you have any questions, if you want me to talk about anything specifically. And hair is dripping. It's just water, I promise. Yeah, so it's great talking to you guys. I hope you have a great rest of the day and stay cool, please.